All right. So, a little bit of a change of scenery. Weather was working with me today, so get to go out in the woods, have lunch, talk to you guys, maybe keep you company while you're eating. It's all that good stuff, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to talk more about myself, even though I do that a lot already, if you know me. But you know, I wouldn't want to watch someone's videos if I didn't really have an idea of who they were. So I'm gonna hold off on eating until I get like most of the ranting done. But oh boy, do I have a treat today. So, diet wise, I want to say maybe until I was about like 15 or 16, I was like pretty fat, unhappy, unhealthy. See how those two always like go together? And overall, just didn't care about anything really, especially life. And I remember, I think it was junior year of high school. I was fucking around with some friends, and I like one of them was driving out of the parking lot of the high school, and I like jumped on his on the hood of his truck, and I like literally left a dent. And he called me a whale, and I was like, damn, that didn't sting, but it's kind of like an eye opener, you know. You don't want to be a whale. You want to be something cool, like a like an otter, a sexy little otter, you know. So from that point forward, I started to focus on what I ate a little bit more. Looking back now, obviously I didn't really know what I was doing at the time as much as I do now. But you know, I put in the effort. I started to eat better. I started to I did a whole lot of biking, and the biking just like a whole lot of biking, like 20 miles a day ish. So the fat was coming off. I was starting to look like a human. And from that point, I started to get into like weightlifting and all that. I did your regular diets. I would go into keto when I was like cutting. I never really paid much mind to it, but you know, that's that. My freshman year of college, I went vegetarian for 4 months, and looking back now, that's definitely one of the first instances where I saw how what you eat can affect you mentally, because the majority of my protein was coming from tofu, and literally the soy was fucking with my hormones so much that I became like this squirming mess of a man that just wept in a box in his room, you know? And no one wants to be that. So I stopped, and granted, during the time I was still consuming like pasteurized dairy and eggs, but like even then, that's not enough to like, you know, pull you out of the hole that soy is gonna dig for you. From that point forward, just like, you know, pretty regular eating, and I would focus on like cleaner stuff with like fewer ingredients, but I would still splurge. Like back when I had my Fitstagram, when I was super fucking egotistical, I still am, but not as much. But back when I had the Fitstagram, I would do protein bar reviews, so I was eating a whole bunch of shit that like you can't even fucking pronounce, and you know, that's not good for you. Um, from that point, I started to experiment with steroids just because I wanted to pioneer my human evolution and literally ascend to this Homo novus idea that I had in my head. And, you know, that was fun. And would I do it again? Obviously not, just because I'm so happy the way I am now. Like, sure, I could be bigger, but I could also do that natty, because I'm not trying to get fucking yoked again. I'm just trying to, sexy little otter, plain and simple. So from that point, when I started to come off cycle, that's also about the same time that I started to experiment with fasting. And fasting was just, yeah, fasting's interesting not only for like the health perspective, but for the mental perspective, just because when you're not eating, because the way I was doing it, I got into this like pretty bad habit. I really hope you guys can't see all the fucking gnats right in front of the camera, but I got into this really bad habit of I'd literally have like maybe 1 or 2 meals a week, and then I would fast for like 7 days. And when you don't have all that time that's spent, whether it's making your food, eating the food, or just like anything food related, like you really get to thinking. And like that's why I like fasting for like the spiritual aspects, you know? Um, from fasting, I kind of just like really fucked myself up because that's, you're starving. Like you have the stuff in you to keep going, but you don't want to tap into that. Like that's there for like when shit hits the fan. From there, I just kind of looked into which diets would be the best to like re-nourish myself. And obviously I wasn't going to do anything like vegetarian or vegan because of my prior experience. So I started looking into like, what's the meat equivalent of veganism. And then I found the Primal Diet. I got Augenis's books. I devoured literally every piece of information that he put out there. I got into Sverige and all those guys like Derek Nance, Primal Edge Health, all them. And I really went down that rabbit hole. And like I mentioned in my prior video, that weaponized autism, man, like it, once I like sink my teeth into something, I'm not letting go until I get like everything out of it. And prior to like the whole health thing, it was conspiracies. Now it's health tied in with conspiracies. So it's lit. So yeah, that basically that's my food journey. And now I'm just talking about why I'm so for this. And I think the best example to start with is the fact that raw milk is illegal in so many places. Okay? So, you think, why is it illegal? Oh, because you might get sick from it. Well, if you get sick from it, then you're giving money to big pharma for them to cure you. Clearly, that's not why it's illegal. It's illegal because it's good for you. Because this is like the life blood that comes from a cow through itself into its young so that it can foster its growth. Like health as a whole, I think is one of the biggest fucking conspiracies ever. And then like, oh, that's sour, but I got a fridge now, so it's cold and sour. Yeah, health is just like between the medical system and just what you're taught and what everything is like understood to be under the guise of like the mainstream narrative and what it actually is, like there's some fishy shit going on. And I'm sure a lot of you people realize that now, especially like the friends that I've made in this community that were either recovered vegans or just like fucked themselves up through regular diet. Like what they're preaching to be good obviously is not good. And this, oh, I forgot to mention, during that time where I was fasting and I was thinking a lot, came across a very influential man by the name of Theodore John Kaczynski. And that kids, read the manifesto. Like it's crazy how fucked everything is because of how much we just think we need shit that we don't need. Like, not only is health a conspiracy, but this entire existence is turning into a conspiracy because it's not our world that we're living in. We're living in their world, their lie. And I think the sooner people realize that and we return to like what we actually are, the better. Because anthropologically speaking, oh, also, let me drop some credentials on you guys. I have a minor in anthropology and a bachelor's in psych. I'm working on my master's. So I'm not just talking out my ass when it comes to stuff like this. But, yeah, like, the modern world is just filled with all these luxuries that we don't need that just ruin things for us. They ruin communication. They ruin relationships. They ruin just the fucking environment. Like, it's sick. And I think the sooner people start to realize how far we've come from what we've evolved to be without allowing evolution to continue to catch up to where we are, if that made sense, I'm just going to pat myself on the back now for it, the better, Like, everything's fucked. But you, happy person watching this video right now. By reclaiming your health and being happy, you're doing two things that the government doesn't fucking want you to be doing. And through that, like, health and happiness is, to me, the most important rebellion against the government. And that's why I'm so passionate about trying to help people, to trying to fix people's fucking minds, their guts, their everything. I want nothing but everyone in this world to be happy and healthy and to realize the fucking wool that's been pulled over their eyes. Plain and simple. Alright, so I feel like that's most of the ranting done. So now I'm just gonna eat. Your boy found some fucking Polish duck breast, and I am so excited to eat this. You might actually witness a grown man crying on camera just because of something being so tasty, but I'm totally okay with that. Oh my god. That's to die for. Oh my god, that's just like melting in my mouth. Holy shit. Yeah, another thing I want to reiterate is that this channel is just mainly going to be like, you guys send me questions, I research them, I answer them, and then I eventually just want to do like Q&A live streams, and I want to do interviews with some of my friends, with the focus being more so on what they're doing to improve their health than what happened that caused their health to fail in the first place. You know, like simple stuff. So my second treat today, got some delightful Polish honeycomb. I had a small bite of this earlier, and I almost could not believe it. It was so good. Also, I finally found a spoon. Anyone who's been watching my live streams on fucking Instagram, like, dude, been eating off of a knife for the past, like, week. Awful. Finally got a spoon. Oh man, the sun's coming out. Hell fucking yeah. Oh my god. So this guy's like maybe, I think he said 30 minutes away from this Biała Podlaska, because I'm in Poland right now. And oh my god. Like, I'm tasting the flowers that I smell when I walk around town, and it's amazing. And also the wax, like, I just chew it like gum, which is nice, because sometimes I miss gum. But, yeah. So, I mean, if you want, like, homework, I'm not gonna, like, collect it or anything. Look into Teddy K, you know? Cool guy. Right about a lot of stuff. Especially just, there is nothing more to this world than abiding by nature. Because we were natural beings before we started to be influenced, and you know, to natural beings we shall return, as long as effort is put in to do so. Just trying to start my own brand of neo-hippie, neo-pagan Luddites. The end game is to have our own little self-sustaining farm. All of you are more than welcome to visit if you're willing to work. And yeah, that's the fun stuff, man. Great talking to all of you again. Wait. I got ahead of myself there. I got 2 questions. I think I only remember one. Oh, no, I remember both. Salt. Do I use salt, and what do I think of salt? I tried using salt once, and I think that was maybe like 2 months into eating like this, and I hated it. I sprinkled it on a steak, and like all the juice just like leaked out. It felt like crunchy because of like the crust that it made as a result, and like it was awful. So as long as you're eating like your balance between like honestly, meat alone, you're gonna get like enough of your electrolytes and whatnot, and then like throw in fruit and juicing, and like you're fucking golden, dude. Like you do not have to worry about salt or adding additional salt, like at all. The second question was about egg whites and the whole Ambivan, whatever the hell it is. I probably should have looked it up before this video, but it's a compound, like an enzyme in raw egg whites that stops B6 from being absorbed, and you know, like I think all the pros of egg whites definitely outweigh any of the cons that could come as a result of that. And even then, like as long as your diet's not like a majority based on eggs, you'll be good. So, I don't know how long this has been going, but I'm trying to eat now. I'm trying to stop getting bitten by like all these very interesting looking insects. And yeah, now I will see you next time. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Follow me on Instagram. Leave questions in the comments. Send me questions on Instagram, all that good stuff. Cut down a power line and plant a tree. Goodbye.